Greetings to you all. Man, I'm so glad to be covering this video because a lot of people have their own opinions on what they felt on the versions that they felt was the best. And I know a lot of people might not agree with mine today, and this is the reason why we're here. We're here as a community to share our own opinions and what your experience was. So I'm really excited to cover this video. I've put a lot of effort in this video, so I do appreciate if you guys, like and subscribe. It's always appreciated, man. But as I always say, guys, I love you guys always. But yeah, let's delve into this video. Right, guys, so we're going to go all the way back to the beginning from the beta access. Obviously, we cannot go prior to when ESBC came out, because obviously that's just going to be the best version from what we see. But obviously we didn't play it. So we're going to start off with the early access. And I do have footage from the early access. I was around them times. I just weren't making content around it as much. But I got some footage. I was a really good player. I managed to get, I think I was highly ranked. Highly ranked. I think I was in the top 20, I do believe. So yeah, we're going to delve into this video. We're going to break it down and go from there. Right, guys, so here we have a 2003 Joe Louis versus Wilder. As you can see, I am Joe Louis and Wilder's on the left hand side, and this is the early access, and we're going to delve into what we actually see, what's changed, and this is where we're going to have our best opinions. Obviously the experience people will remember, but it's good to actually see on the reasons why people will probably pick the beta. So let's delve into it.
Got his gloves up to block the left jab.
So already you can see the hit detection registration is perfect. There was no complaints, nothing at all, and throughout the video you will actually see that it will continue. I'm not too sure if you noticed the movement as well. You can clearly see, to my knowledge, that the movement in this game was quite fast in comparison to the version we play today. The boxes are more quicker, they are flowing more, and as I play the video, you can see the speed of the video. I've not touched any of the speeds at all, and this is its original look. If you see that slow punch that Wilder actually threw, then there was times where that was happening and pretty much unrealistic. So here we are, right there. So that there was, I know that was kind of due to like a stamina issue, but in real life boxing, that would never happen. More or less a boxer, you will kind of figure out when they are fatigued, but not in this way. The hit detection is beautiful. It's beautiful. That there, that spam there, the straight spam, that there was really good to obviously get rid of. That there was a really big issue, and to be honest, it happens in the version that we have now, but not so vigorous. So we're going to repeat that one more time right there. Wow.
He carries away that left hook.
Oh, there, as you can see, the hook spam. So that was one of the issues that was, well, people weren't even complaining about the hook spams there. But then again, you can see it's a big issue in this game as well. And one thing I've realized, guys, is there's actually no desync. From what I've visualized in this fight, I do not see any desync at all. Another thing I've realized is when the fighter is fighting on the back foot, you can actually catch up with them. You can actually catch up with them and pressure them, because the more you hit, the better the registration is. And I feel like that was incredible in this version. Really incredible, because in the up-to-date version that we play of today, it's like a hit and miss. They could be on the back foot, you might throw a punch knowing that it landed, but it didn't land. But this version clearly shows that once you hit and put them on the back foot, it's landing. That was decent there, as you can see. I bent down there. I'm going to slow it down so you guys can actually see that. Let me see if I can slow it down. Right, look at that duck there. That there was beautiful. So that clearly shows an of effectiveness in the head movement. Fantastic. Right, so I think we're doing really good breaking down this video because you can see a lot of things that have changed. Now, another thing that I've spotted is when I actually play this video, you can clearly see that the lean back is a lot more slower in comparison to the version that we play today. So here we are, we're going to play it. So right here, there we are. Okay, that there is more of a realistic lean back, but then again, boxers don't really lean back and counter like that. So if you ask me, we need to obviously enhance that type of countering, okay? Because you know, you don't even have to be a boxer to know that. Try it yourself and see if you can get back up and hit an opponent like that. It's just not going to work like that. Another thing I spotted as well is the color itself. As you can see, this is 4K, by the way, and there's a lot of it has changed. In the up-to-date version we have, a lot of it's shaded, which I do think that the up-to-date version in terms of shading is better. But yeah, but the most important is how the game was played.
Round two. Both men step back for just a moment.
Right guys, so I managed to pull another fight through, and this one's a really interesting bit because a lot of people do think that the desync happens is when this connection thing above happens. And from what we know and what I've digged up and the fights that I've digged up from prior, there was no desync from the beta. And I'm going to play this video, and I think majority of the video, probably all, I'm not going to show you all, this is on the video throughout. Normally it comes and goes, but I think it's on throughout, and the punches are still landing clean. So this is a thing that we need to think about, why desync is really happening. But the up-to-date version, when this shows, the desync is just out of the way. Like literally, it's really bad. So I don't know what's going on here. You guys give me some of your thoughts on what is actually going on, but I'm going to play the video. Guys, we've seen enough. We wouldn't mind this if this connection thing happens. Okay, and I'm sounding a bit critical right now, but I'm just like, why can't it, you know, resemble the few of the things that it had before? And I think this is just really important, man. You can clearly see that when this is showing, the punches are landing. They are landing. Right guys, so these are the last two things that I'm going to mention, and what we're going to mention now is the stamina. A lot of people were saying to the developers that the stamina needs to be changed. However, a lot of people enjoyed the stamina being like this. Well, this is what the beta had. You know, the stamina was at its peak, definitely for sure. So every time you made a punch, you know, your stamina weren't decreasing pretty much. And throughout all rounds, all the way to like round 10 to 12, you know, your stamina was pretty much full. No matter how much combinations you pick, you know, that's what was happening. Right, so this is an indication. As you can clearly see, it's in the 12th round, and the stamina bar is pretty much all the way to the top. Another thing that I realized on the beta access as well was that the finishing was better. You can actually finish your opponents a bit quicker, whereas there's a lot of difficulties in the update that we currently hold, and it's becoming a frustration. Right guys, so we're going to head over to its full release, which the Undisputed full version got released on the 8th of October 2024. And then we're going to head over to the current version on what we are playing today. So let's delve into it. Let's go. Right guys, so this is a video from the beginning of Undisputed when the full release did come out. I managed to dig up my videos and I managed to find it. Also, what I realized as well is this guy is, I think he's top 5 on PC, which is incredible. But I did highlight at the time that he was a very high ranking spammer. And I didn't mean it with no disrespect. I just mentioned that this version was, you can kind of see where I'm going. There was a lot of spamming in this version. And that's the reason why I believe the whole game got changed. And what we have today is the cause of it. Well, one of the causes. So I'm going to play this video. We're going to pinpoint a couple of things. And then we're going to go from there.
Go. They are giving us a high tempo show.
Right, straight away, the hit detection. It's more or less the same as the beta, but to me, it was in full effect in this version. And Sugar Ray Robinson was the best on the game, hands down. There's no questions or doubts about it. He was just too good. But now, in the version that we have, we're going to get to that.
They've got to use their jab better in this fight.
So one thing I've realized as well is the high blocking. This version does have that. The beta access didn't much have it, you know, so that's another thing that, you know, I think that needs to be changed. Because look, you can see that you can't see through his gloves. So when we're talking about realism, that obviously needs a bit of a change.
Use their jab better in this fight.
If you do want to go watch this fight, I'll put the link down in below.
That counter shot lands. One punch could change the entire.
So he's looking for that power shot, that really hard power shot to try and knock me out. And the thing is, I was a genius at, you know, dodging power shots. I loved it. It was an issue, but I loved it. See, once the thing is, this game did allow you with specific fighters to time the power shots. So here we are. I'm going to slow it down for you guys. There we are.
Catch and shoot.
See if I can rewind it. Let's see where that power shot came from. There we are. Nice and timed. Right here. Nice. As you notice as well, the gameplay seems to be where it needs to be. It's not so fast and it's not so slow, and that's what I loved. I really loved about this version. And to me, we're gonna get to the conclusion, definitely, for sure, because there's a lot to say in terms of the versions, and it's a positive and negative. But then again, you have to just pick the best version that you think that was perfect. Right, so here we will see the power shots in full effect, and I think this is what was hurting the game quite a lot. So there we are. But then again, boxers do throw power shots, but the thing is, when people was throwing power shots, the stamina wasn't going down at all. So as you can see, I was really good defensively. I could block power shots, whereas a lot of people did have issues blocking it. And also the lean backs as well, as you can see there, they're pretty much slower in comparison to the version we have. Another thing as well, the finishing was brilliant on this as well. So it does share similarities to the beta access. Also, what I love about this version as well, anytime you walk down your opponent, they're not getting away. The hit detection was so on point to the point where they could not get away at all.
So I've got to respect
And with Sugar Ray's style, it was perfect.
The work rate is down. The head isn't moving as well, Johnny. Fatigue is starting to set in. Nice counter shot. Looking to land the hook. Crawford may be ready to go down. Beautiful snap.
Here we are, where we go with the finishing. Perfect. Perfect. So as you see in both videos, the beta access and the full version shared a lot of similarities with each other. And I think the main reason why the game got changed, because there was a lot of spamming going on. And one thing I realized was, while there was a center of it, a lot of people were playing in the heavyweight division at the time, and they wasn't happy with, you know, people spamming with the stamina bar being sky high. We will get to the conclusion, but I think that this version was very, very good, besides the spamming. And what we're going to do now is we're going to delve into the actual version, what we have today. And then after that, we're going to form a conclusion. There weren't really much to obviously delve into this version, as I said, it does share a lot of similarities to the beta. But yeah, let's delve into it. Right, guys, so this is a video prior to the version that we currently have now. I feel like the version that we have now is still in the process. So we're not going to go off that one, because the one that we have now, you know, the comparisons, there's not really much has changed. So it's pretty much the same thing, apart from the head movement being improved and a couple other things. So here we are. We're going to analyze this video and see why, because I'm going to say it straight. I'm going to be honest with you that this version will not be the best. If people say this is the best version, then I don't know. I'm not here to criticize, but it'll be strange, and they'd have to have a good explanation why. But yeah, let's delve into this video.
High for the... We waited a long time, and now we've got this fight. And he misses with that jab.
Right, so already you can see the boxers are moving pretty much more slower. The combinations have, you know, decreased. The stamina has to be watched. You can already see as soon as you throw a punch. Right, guys, so another thing that you notice is in the later rounds, as you can see, the stamina is pretty much low. So we're in the 7th round, and it's dramatic. A lot of people are complaining about this. To me, I don't have an issue with it. I've learned how to manage my stamina by picking my punches, but I understand why people have issues with it. I feel like it was tweaked quite a lot, to the point where it's really hard for people to manage to handle their stamina. But then again, you know, it can be adjusted. Another thing that I'm going to pinpoint as well is I feel like only certain punch animations do work. Not all punches work. And that was an issue with this current version now. I think that all punches should be effective. And I think that's one of the main reasons why a lot of people use the same type of punches, which could be a downfall. Whereas if you go back to the beta, and even when the game first launched, you can literally use every different type of punch and it would work. Right, guys, on that note, I don't want to be criticizing the current version to the point where I'm saying it's not playable at all. But in comparison to the beta and when the first game launched, there's no comparison. I'm just going to give you my overall thoughts, and I know a lot of people are going to be shocked with this, but I'll explain why. My favorite version of the game was when the full release came out, and I'll explain why. It's because I liked dealing with spammers, even though I didn't agree with what was going on in the game. I liked it. I feel like my skill level was there. I liked to take them out and know that, you know, the spamming's not going to do it for them. The hit registration was the best overall, and the game was fast paced. I know that this had its moment to the point where, you know, There was negatives, but you need to realize all these updates, all these versions had their negatives. You know, this version, I would say, has many negatives, such as the desync and the hit registration and so forth. Hence why it can't be in the conversation. You know, the version that I'm talking about, which I think was the best, you know, the stamina was pretty much, you know, it just over exceeded, and the spamming was pretty bad. But when we're talking about walking towards opponents, which what you can do in actual boxing, getting yourself on the scorecards, punch when you know it's going to punch and land, they're them things that I'm talking about. I liked that. I loved it. You know, if you want to change what I'm saying into your interpretation, and that's just to say it was more enjoyable, then go off that then. But I just prefer that version. The beta version, I know a lot of people are going to say this was the best version. It was a really, really good version. But I just feel like the full release excelled. You know, I just felt like that. I was just like, you know, I was happy. I was happy, man. I just had my best experience in that full version. But let me know your thoughts. I'm really interested with what you guys got to say. I know a lot of you guys are going to disagree, but you know, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, as I have put a lot of effort in this video. As I said, guys, subscribe, a like, we'll appreciate, and peace.